I remember getting off the plane and thinking how awfully hot it was.
35-year-old Melissa Armstrong was a hotel manager in Toronto. But fed up with metropolitan life, she quit her job and traveled here in search of adventure.
I wasn't feeling fulfilled.
She's found a job working with marine researcher David Tomlinson, who spent almost 30 years studying the oceans.
I began diving in 1963 in the Bahamas. I'm very lucky to be able to study much of our oceans and see things that not a lot of people get a chance to see.
The dive site is 20 miles offshore. Melissa has never been diving so far from land.
I was excited. I felt good about the dive. It wasn't until I went out there that I thought, oh, wow, I'm really out in the middle of nowhere.
What's up?
Nothing. Well, I guess maybe I'm just a little nervous.
What about?
I was a little embarrassed because I wanted to be like the guys, one of the guys, and I said, I'm afraid of sharks.
No, you don't have to worry about sharks. They're much more afraid of us than we are them.
I doubt it.
I'm serious. They hardly ever bother divers. Now, if you were up on the surface like a surfer, flapping around, then you look like shark bait. But when you're down below, there's nothing to worry about. Can you zip me up?
The dive was completely different than anything I'd ever experienced. It was amazing. We started going through this white haze. It was quite dreamlike, and there were bubbles funneling up around us coming from the vents of Kavachi.
The volcano is out of sight beneath the divers, far deeper than they can safely descend. All they can see are clouds of sulfur dioxide rising towards them from below.
It was such an amazing celestial scene. It was just breathtaking.
After 30 minutes, the divers surface.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
The weather has changed dramatically. The dark cloud David spotted earlier is now above them.
God, it's really choppy now.
Yeah.
There's the boat, it's miles away.
Hey!
I said, David, why aren't they turning around? And he couldn't answer that question.
You're yelling, you're screaming at the top of your voice. Why isn't he looking? We're here. Can't you see us?
One of them makes a desperate attempt to locate the missing divers, but he has no idea just how far away they are now. With the fuel tank almost empty, the boatmen have no other choice but to return to the island to get help.
Guys! Go!
It happened quite quickly. We watched them disappear, as if the sea swallowed them up. I said, David, this is bad. This is really, really, really bad.
Hey!
20 miles away, the boatmen get back to the island and raise the alarm.
Lost 2 divers out there.
The locals know the seas around here well. They've all heard the stories of giant hammerhead sharks preying on fishermen. They know they may not have long, and search parties race out on the hunt for the missing divers. David and Melissa can only hope that help is on its way. But with each passing hour, they're getting more nervous.
In the Solomons, there's a phenomenal amount of sea life there. My biggest fear at that stage, I believe, was sharks.
I'd imagine them circling below us. This big mouth coming up and tearing into one of us. I felt David, he pulled me to the right, abruptly.
David, what are you doing?
And I pulled back, and he pulled me, and I'm like, what?
It was coming straight at me from the depths, literally, from what I could see, straight at my face.
Coming right up!
It was this huge, ugly barracuda, probably 5.5 feet. They can be very aggressive, and they have been known to attack people before.
David knows the great barracuda has a ferocious bite.
All he has to do is hit me in my hand, my arm, my leg. If I start bleeding, I've got another major problem. I've got a problem with sharks.
Against 2 sets of razor-sharp teeth, David's only defense is his camera.
I needed something to ram and protect us. That was the first thing to use.
It circled around us and then it went off. He couldn't believe it didn't do anything else.
It's gone.
But I kept looking for it because I just didn't want to be caught by surprise by one of those.
As night started wrapping itself around us, it was completely terrifying. Thinking, oh my, we're going to be here at night. We're going to have to deal with what we just dealt with, only in blackness.
What?
Stop.
What
Stop
is it?
swimming. Look, in the water.
All of a sudden, I find that every time we move our arm or our leg, the water's glowing.
Wow!
The mysterious light is caused by microscopic plankton in the water. Any sudden movement makes them glow.
Stop. Stop.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah. We move, we get seen, huh?
That really stopped us from swimming because I said, Melissa, we can't keep swimming now because we're going to, it's lighting up around us. Something's going to see us.
But when the divers stop swimming, their body temperature plummets.
I was just shaking so hard. I was so cold. You've got nothing to stand on. There's nothing to sit down on. I just wanted to be out of the water. I wanted something to float by so I could climb on top of it so that I wouldn't have this pressure on my body because it was so consuming and uncomfortable.